Hey everybody, I was able to get through and grade all of the chests that were submitted, but I did want to make a quick video and just go over a couple of things that were pretty common issues, and most of it is probably my fault. I didn't give a good enough description on what to do, so I wanted to follow that up and just kind of give a little bit better explanation. So a lot of you ended up with something that looked like this. Of course, it looks pretty much like a treasure chest, right? It matches all the requirements of things that we need. And most everybody got something that looked like this, which is great, right? So the idea of this class is to be able to create things that are recognizable. It creates something that you can automatically tell what it is. However, a second element is that we want to create objects that are connected to one another, right? We don't want to have a lot of random pieces. We want them all to be connected and merged together. So most people did really well with the combining. You click on this and you can see that this is 100% combined, but really probably 6 or 7, maybe 8 students failed to merge the two objects. You can tell that if you double click on a face and it doesn't select the whole thing, then you'll see that the objects aren't merged together properly. Um, so in order to do that, what you have to do is get the cylinder and the cube pretty close together. Once you combine them, so you do have to combine them first. If you don't combine them first, then merging the vertexes won't work. And I think that's what a lot of students did. They tried to merge the vertex before they combined the objects. So once you have the objects combined, as this is, so you have the top and you have the bottom here, then you can come in, you can select two vertexes, and then edit mesh and merge. And you can repeat this process. I'm just going to do it real quickly around so we can see what the final product looks like. Right, so you can select all the vertexes around two at a time and merge them together. And this is taking longer than I want the video to take, but this is a common problem, so I do think it's important for people to go through and see that this is not just, I gave a lot of feedback and kind of explained this to a lot of students, but I want everybody to know that you're not alone. It's not like just one student did it. It's majority or half of the class at least. But once you merge the objects together and you double click, you'll notice that you actually, if you double click, you select the entire object. So that's how you know that your vertexes are merged. Another way is to press 3 on the keyboard. Now you press 3 on the keyboard if they're not merged, which I'm not going to unmerge them, but I'll just delete that. So you press 3 on the keyboard, you'll notice that even if your faces are real close together, you're still going to have a hard line around because they're not merged. Once they're merged together, then when you press 3, Maya's going to smooth that hard line out. To get back to the regular view, you just press 1. So that's a real common problem that a lot of people had. Another common problem is if you see this face right here, you'll notice that it's not real. Something looks just off about it, especially when you hit 3. You can tell that something is really wrong with that face. And actually, all of these faces look different from these. Usually what happens in that instance is a student will want to extrude these 4 faces, but they'll, instead of just clicking them, holding down shift, they'll actually do a click and drag, and that will sometimes accidentally select a face on the back, right? So if you click and drag, it's going to drag things on the back side. And even if I'm just working on this, like let's say I want to try to put a little handle on this, so normally I would just extrude it, right? And I'm going to extrude it again to make the handle. And let's say, whoops, let's say that's all I wanted, right? So I've done that and it looks pretty good here. And there's nothing on the back. But if I try to do the same thing on this side, but I accidentally I select this face and then I try to extrude, I extrude it down, and then I pull it up, and then I extrude it out. Right, well this side looks pretty much exactly the same, but I've made a mistake because now this side has this really weird shape on it that I don't want. So just be sure whenever you select a face that you look around and make sure that you didn't accidentally select anything on the back side. And if you did, it's just as easy as clicking off and selecting again. But taking that extra second to look at the back side is going to improve your models because you're going to make fewer mistakes and then you won't have to spend as much time fixing them. So that's just kind of a follow-up from the chest I wanted to send out to everybody. If you do have any questions about merging or extruding or inserting edge loops, let me know, and we'll set up a Google Hangout or a Skype meeting and we'll talk about it. So thanks, everybody.